Well, hello, good morning or good afternoon, Outreach. This is your CEO, Chief Executive Officer, and owner, Michelle Bates. I am coming to you from Hilton Head, South Carolina. I wanted to make sure that the month did not go by without us having our monthly staff meeting, and I would like to say welcome to some of our new employees. We have had some new employees this month, and I did want to say that on behalf of me and Pastor Bays and Adra Forrest and Johnny Shaw, we wanted to make sure that we welcomed you to Outreach and Crisis Counseling Services LLC. Uh, we I wanted to, hopefully that you guys have settled in and everything in your roles, and and we're looking for an explosive second half of the year. Entering into we're actually into quarter number two, entering into about to soon enter into not only quarter three but the second half of the year, and we're looking for an explosive second half. A lot of things going on. I got a few things on the agenda. One of the things is that if you are new to Outreach, you might not understand what these recordings are for. We are expanding, and as we expand, we used to have monthly meetings there at the location there in Columbus, and we realized early on this year that we would be expanding throughout the state, and hopefully throughout the country within the next few years. Looks like Outreach is probably going to grow fairly quickly. As we know, the addiction, the epidemic that is going on right now is not going away anytime soon. And I am grateful and thankful that the Lord has seen fit to raise up people such as myself and Mr. Bays and you that have a desire to help those that are struggling, with addiction. And so, for that reason, I believe that we're looking for an explosive growth. And it already has started. And so, for that reason, we understand that being able to get together in one location once a month would not be, not only would it not be feasible, but probably really not that realistic. However, thank God to technology. We have tapped into technology in this type of way, and that YouTube, by the way of YouTube channel, we are going to make sure that our monthly meetings are posted, and what these monthly meetings will consist of are those issues at times that the department heads bring to me as the owner and Mr. Bays. As we have our department meetings, there are sometimes issues that hit the table that we feel are maybe potential problem areas in all of the centers or in all the departments, and we feel that this would be one of those opportunities to make sure that everybody is on the same page. Also, when we have congratulations or if we just have some type of growth that is going on that we think that everybody needs to know, we want to make sure that, again, we are all on the same page at the same time. And so this is one of those vehicles that we are going to access monthly in order for us to make sure that we do that effectively and that we communicate effectively, because communication really is the key. And so, in saying that, we're going to move on to the first thing on the agenda after explaining the why, and that is the department heads. Um, I believe that Outreach has done a really great job with picking some, or choosing some pretty great people in each one of the departments to kind of not just head up the department. There are people that have been seasoned in that area, have been with us for a long time, and have shown themselves worthy of trust to guide those that are coming on that are new to the company, and sometimes even new to the profession and the population. but also have the heart of the owners, Pastor Bays, Mr. Bays, and myself, to where they would be able to effectively execute trainings, as well as making sure that they stay in between, within a potential a given budget and that type of stuff. Because when you're fresh and you're new, and any company, I say any company that is under 10 years old, and if you're still in the growing, in the growing spurt, you're new. You're still potentially you're still new, and you have the potential of pitfalls and stumbles and things like that, spikes and drops as far as revenue and things like that, to where you really have to be watchful and careful. And we've done a pretty good job this far. Praise God, our doors are still open, so we had to been doing something right. And so we have put people in place that would be able to work with budgets in certain areas. And I say that because it is really important that we know who our department head is, whichever department you're in. It's important that you know who the department head is, so that if there are supplies that are needed, if there are things needed for your department, that we would go to that person who, again, I said, would be privy to the information as to monies that can be spent. Also, we have a very great asset in Mr. Bays, and so because of who he is, we have access to even things that we would think that the business potentially would pay for. Because of who Mr. Bays is, there are things that he has a list of that he gets free on a regular basis, and things like that, that really bless us as a company. So we always want to make sure that we don't ever touch the areas of finance and what we believe that the business has access to. That is their department, and he has strategically worked with the department heads to make sure that we have everything we need and we've never lacked. And so we want to make sure that we're careful to always consult department heads. If you're not sure who those department heads are, you're always you're always welcome to ask either Mr. Bays or the front desk always knows. Also, Toyka Gaddy, Miss Gaddy, who has actually started the practice with us, will always know. And so she's a great person, a great person to speak with. But we want to be careful that, in moving into the next, they can kind of couple together. Next point is making sure that we're not overstepping. It's really important that we all stay in our areas. We were all hired for a specific task, and in that task we will thrive and we're going to do well. But I want to make sure that we, because with new companies, we all wanted to make it, we all wanted to thrive, and so we would not, I would want to say intentionally, bring harm or overstep. However, as I said, we're unique as a company because we all know, most of us, all know each other, love each other, fellowship together, or in relationship together in one shape or form or another. And so, of course, we never would want it to fail. And for that reason, we may go into areas which belong to or that have been set up for someone else. So please just always make sure that you stay in your area. If you find out that there is something lacking in your area, or you feel that there is, you have a suggestion for your area, we're always open to suggestions. Mr. Bays and myself, he has a mailbox there. I have a mailbox there at Outreach in Columbus. And so please feel free to always drop your suggestions in the mailbox. But please do not take it upon yourself to move without leadership. That we're very leadership oriented, and I believe that we've gotten where we are today because we follow leadership very, very closely. And so I encourage everyone, anybody who's been with us for a while, sometimes it's nice to even have that refresher. And even those that are new to the company, I know that you've probably been in various companies in different, various places. Some in the addiction arena, some not, but in your specific expertise or profession. And we appreciate that. However, we do understand that outreach is a totally different company, and it's based on some different ideas and principles, and it's not something that just kind of was developed overnight. This has been years and years and years worth of work. So so trust that we have put the right people in place. If you need anything, just to throw a couple of department heads out there, if you need anything when it comes to the kitchen, please, please, please make sure that you see anything that has to do with the food, the kitchen, refreshments. That's rather in detox. We have a pop machine out there which is included, that Mr. Bays and Stacy Gaddy, Mr. Stacy, do a great job of governing. If you have any questions in reference to that, please do not take anything out of the kitchen. Don't go into the kitchen. I think there's even a sign that's been posted. So it kind of bothers me when we have signs that are posted and we're overriding those signs. Please don't do that. If there's a sign posted there, please follow those instructions. They're put there for a reason. As I said, if you have any ideas, we're open to those, but please put those in the mailbox and wait for us to get back to those. Some we're going to be okay with, and we're going to grab them up, and some we probably would not. But that is, but again, we appreciate anybody's suggestions. And also we have we have someplace else that we're opening. We have another center that's coming your way right away. We're going to be working on when we get back to Columbus, and that is introducing the Athens location. So even if you have some suggestions that may not be a fit for our detox location or outpatient, it's a possibility that we would use those suggestions even in our residential location. We're excited about it, and God has designed outreach a little different than other places, and it's a really unique design. And so we are looking forward to the growth that's happening in outreach, and looking forward to working on Athens. But it is predicated on us doing everything that we need to do in our spot in Columbus. Because Columbus is going to be the model for all the other centers. And so we're proud of what we've done there at Outreach, but we do want to tighten some things up. As I said, if we do have a lot of new people that have come on. I think we have a total of 4 new employees that have come on just within the last 30 days since the last video. So, so that is growth. We are going to have even that much more. I think we have about 33 employees there in Columbus, and I think we're going to have at least that amount, if not a little more, coming on board within the next 30 days to fill the spots at Athens. So we're growing. Outreach is growing, at a large rate. But it's doable, and it's exciting. But it also is going to take more discipline on our part to make sure that we stay in the area that we need to stay in. If you have any questions, we as owners are very tangible, and we're going to always stay that way, just because that's that's our makeup, and this started by us being accessible. However, we still are owners, and we still understand that there are a lot of things going on in the business end, and decisions that need to be made concerning the business end. that are, um, I know that fresh ideas come out and fresh ideas are great. However, um, timing is everything. And you know, we're working with the timing. And so even if you put a suggestion out there and it doesn't get grabbed right away, there's time and there's money and there's all those type of things involved. And so me and Mr. Bays are very timely, and we very prayerful. So know that even if it's a possibility, if it's a no right now, it may be something that we would use in the future. And so I want to make sure that I encourage you, anytime something is laid on your heart, pour it in. We're one family at the end of this, and we want to make sure that we're around for a long, long time. And so we understand that people being put in their prospective places will help us with that, to be around to be around in the future. We understand that addiction issues aren't going anywhere. There'll probably always be someone that has some type of issue with addiction, and we want to always be there to help. And so, again, I appreciate all the efforts that Outreach Columbus has put in, the time, the hours that you all have put in. You're appreciated. We are actually in the process of getting ready to launch our, we want to make sure that we give recognition and merit to those that are doing exceptionally well and going above and beyond. And we are going to implement a merit system here within the next month or so. It's actually being put in place right now, and so we have that new coming to the table, and just some good stuff coming up. And so I want to make sure that everyone is excited and energetic. If you're having any problems, in your area or with your hours or anything like that, please make sure that you reach out to your supervisor. If you don't know who that is, your hire letter should tell you. And that will move into the last thing that I wanted to talk about, and that's even with call-offs and stuff like that. Please make sure that if you are calling off, that you are actually using the phone. I know we have technology, and technology is wonderful, but texting a call-off is not appropriate. Too many things could go wrong with the text. Someone could have their phone off. They could have their phone down. It's just not, because it's just not appropriate, because we are dealing with human lives that need the center all the time, and we are running a 24-hour facility. And so that means that more often than not, someone is taking the baton from someone, right? And so you wouldn't want to text your supervisor. And first, I hope you're communicating with your supervisor and not an employee. If you're wanting to call off, or if you need to be late or what have you, make sure that you're communicating that with your supervisor, because and the reason being is they are the person that is going to be able to make sure that if you're not going to be there, that there will be someone that will. Because as I said, we're running a 24-hour facility. We can't close because you're not coming in. And so we need to make sure that we're able to get your spot filled. Also, you want to make sure that that person that you're relieving is aware that you're going to be late, because they also they've worked their hours, and they have plans, and they just want to go home at times, and that's okay. And so we want to be considerate, of one another's time. We signed up for a schedule. And if that schedule is no longer working for you, or if you have issues with your schedule, please talk with your supervisor, who will get with HR, and we'll see if there's something that we can do, about your schedule. If you're going to be late, or if you're going to be or if you need to call off, do that as early as possible so that we can get coverage for you. And again, please do not communicate that with another employee that is not your supervisor. Please go to your supervising staff or your department head and make sure that that is communicated so that we can flow, and so that the clients at the at the end of the day, our clients are the most important, and we want to make sure that they get everything that they need. Not that our needs aren't important, and not that because life happens to us, and not that whatever's going on with us would not be important. But at the end of the day, we have come to provide a service. We've promised to provide a service with the state of Ohio. In our certification, we've promised to provide a service, and our clients have come to us because they believed in the service that we're able to provide. Does that sound good? And so we just want to make sure that we are keeping our end of the bargain. And so communication is the key. At the end of this video, that's what this was all about. Communication. Communication is the key. Thank you for your time. Now there will be a form that you'll need to fill out and just sign, saying that you do understand everything that you heard here on this video, and that you were a part of it. And if you have any issues or if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to jot that on the back of your form, Ms. Couture, and give those to Couture front desk. She'll have those forms available, and you can hand those back to her, and she'll make sure that HR gets them so they can go in your file, so that we'll have record that we did this, that we had our staff meeting for the month. All right. Thank you for a wonderful, wonderful May. Even though things were a little stressful at times, we made it through. We're entering into the month of June, and I'm excited about it. Looking forward to the great things that God has in store for us. I will see you soon.